Today we are checking out Regiments, one of the best single-player war games on the market right now. It's also one of the most accessible and affordable. It retails for $29.99, but you can get it on sale for $20. It's in active development, which means the developer has released several free updates, new maps, new operations, lots of single-player content, and new units. So if we head on over to the operations game mode, obviously it does come with a skirmish, and we click on a new one if we wanted to take a look. You get 7 operations plus 2 DLC ones absolutely free. The developer is currently working on its first paid DLC for Regiments. We're going to talk about Phase 2 in one of the DLCs, Doctrinal Approach. Here, we're going to replenish some of our units. We really need our Hinds up and running. We also need our T-55s on the battlefield. We're trying to do an armored breakthrough, and it is not going... Well, actually, it's going fantastic, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. I really like this replenish mechanic. I kind of would like to see the numbers tuned down a little bit. Oh, we need this anti-tank upgraded. So we have 42 operational points left. AAA would be really important. This mobile artillery is really important. We'll talk about the mechanics as we play. What do we get if we level this up? We get anti-air and another T-72. I guess that could be like SHORADs, like short-range air defense systems. We could kind of move that with our units, but we don't really have a lot of deployment. We don't have enough to put more units on the battlefield, so maybe it's not smart to up to replenish that. I do want this AT though. All right, so we have more AT riflemen. We're going to get them on the battlefield. So this is honestly why it's one of my favorite games. They're redoing this whole operations mode to kind of add like infinite replayability. I'm going to put that in quotes because that's just like, I mean, nothing's really infinite, but basically what's going to happen is the game's going to kind of just like recreate scenarios for you, at least in operations, and they're going to vary how they play out, which is really cool. I mean, I find that really interesting. It's always really fun. I thought Regiments would have that approach kind of when it launched, but it had really strict single-player content. So seeing it go that way is really, really interesting to me. So what we have right now is we have 700 deployment points to spend plus 1,200 supply. Here's our supply. Here's our deployment points, and we really need to secure one of these exits. So we have 20 minutes to do that. Once we secure this exit, we can move on to the next stage. Honestly, we could focus on trying to get these 100 deployment points right here and this 100 over here and secure this exit, but it's really going to depend on how heavy the enemy is attacking us. And there's usually a lot of enemies kind of focused in that one specific location. So we have T-55s kind of back here. We're going to move these forward. Just like that, we have a BTR-70 company. I forgot companies were one of the new mechanics that were added. And we're going to kind of approach Alpha probably through this town because it's kind of, it may slow us down a little bit, but it's going to provide us with some cover. And actually, we're just going to go this way with our BTR-70 company. And then from there, we're going to retreat this unit because they're completely low on ammo, which means they are really not super useful. It's QQ to retreat, so I don't know why I'm like looking for the retreat button over there on the right hand side. And then we have some BTR-60s we'll take a look at. So let's get some units on the battlefield. Let's get our T-72s. I really want our T-72s up. I really want, maybe I'll get this HQ unit up. I didn't use him too much, but this is going to kind of motivate our units a little bit, and we kind of need them because they're really kind of just getting bogged down in the nonsense right now. This mobile artillery is really interesting. I'm not sure what this fire support unit is. I need to look that up in the Regipedia. And these riflemen might be useful, but let's get some SHORADs on the battlefield and kind of protect ourselves a little bit with our advance. Let's get this fire support going as well. And then this recon unit, we have a BDRM as, ooh, I want this one, this PT-76. All right. So during the early stages of this, we're just going to do a lot of maneuvering and setting up everything. The reason why we want that recon vehicle on the battlefield is we can kind of move it forward of our armored advance, and it can spot units. So as you see, like the recon unit, where is he at? I am blind, right here. If we hit the shift key, we can kind of see his visual range. Anything he spots can be relayed back to these tanks, these T-72s. See, their range is much bigger, but they have a smaller vision. So if our recon unit can kind of spot something out of range or out of the vision range of our tanks, we can kind of engage it at a much longer distance or a much greater distance. So that's really why we want those units on the battlefield. As you see, our T-55 is currently being engaged by an unknown unit. Our company's kind of engaging them. So let's just kind of slow some of our movements down. It looks like it's a little short-range air defense system, or at least a SAM system. Surface to air, they do have quite the upgrades, so hopefully we can kind of just engage this guy and give him a terrible time. Our Hinds are currently engaging him, so let's pull them back. A reverse would have been much better. So let's see what we can do. A little bummed, a little bummed. All right, he's retreating, so T-55s are engaging. We do have an anti-tank over there, so we're going to kind of reverse these guys as well. And then we are going to attempt to get these T-55s into position. We're going to push forward with our T-55s and kind of engage people across this waterway. We're going to destroy that enemy air support system or air defense system, and then we're going to move our Hinds up into position to engage this anti-tank. Currently, I believe we have no artillery on the battlefield, so let's get artillery up and going. And let's get them in this tree line right here. Our main force is still developing and getting into position. And as you see, we should be able to suppress this enemy. And as you see, you can actually get really, really close and kind of watch the battlefield. You can also hide the UI, but I'm not going to do that right now. I was hoping we could kind of engage this guy and destroy him, but he's kind of having a terrible time. So we're going to retreat these units. They're running low on ammo, and I don't want to really kind of burn them off right in the middle of this battle. And there we go. The air defense system still giving us a hard time. Let's see if we can get these T-55s in position to kind of engage them. Our BRDMs are moving into position. We are suppressing that unit. T-72 is almost on deck. Let's see if we can get them into position as well. The AT system's really giving us a hard time. Once it's down... Ooh, I forgot I had smokes. Let's smoke it. I forgot about that stuff over there on the right. Let's hit space to pause, reassess everything. That's our mobile artillery. He's moving. We're going to give him a position of command 2. As you see, the mobile artillery will target by itself. So once he's in position, he should be able to at least shell that position. So he's going to move just a little bit forward as well. So we're just going to move him forward. And once everyone's in position, we're going to assault on Alpha. We have smoke falling on that AT unit, which is really giving us a hard time. We're going to try and get our recon into position here in a moment. And then we're going to push real hard on Alpha here in a second. Once this company has dealt with this one little anti-tank platoon, or this squad. I say platoons, but they're squads. I don't know why. Just habit. So T-55's doing okay. Smoke's going to fall on that unit. Kind of just block line of sight while these BTRs move up and kind of just deal with him. Let's close the gap a little bit, kind of get everyone into position. I would really like to get these Hinds back on the battlefield. We don't want to use supply. We only have 1,000 supply. And let's just kind of give this everyone over here a hard time. Ooh, those are anti-tank. Are these guys dismounted? These guys absolutely are dismounted. So we just give them a stop order. I don't remember stop. Just attack. Everyone's kind of moving. These leopards are getting kind of shredded. These T-72. Hopefully we can get rid of that air defense system. PT-76 is almost in position. We're going to continue to move him. Let's see if we can get him in the tree line somewhere. Possibly this tree line, which is still going to be too far from the action. He's going to be behind a lot of our units. This would be a much better. Here comes our mobile artillery absolutely falling on these M113s, which should be dealt with almost extremely quickly. Let's get rid of them. And as you see, this is one of the most user-friendly. It's very beginner basic. We can kind of just set everything up. We can get these shore rads into position, or the SAM system, whatever you want to call them. We can get this HQ into position. We can get these BTRs kind of positioning. I don't know if this is a smart move to split up our forces like this, but we're going to give it a shot. Our T-55s are going to roll with them. So we're going to work on securing Alpha. We do have some tanks moving over there. So what we're going to do, we're going to pause. Our company is kind of getting shredded. I'm going to divert some resources over here. We're actually going to call a small little artillery barrage. I don't know if they're mobile. If they're mobile, that's going to be a bad sign. So let's set it forward a little bit. 20 seconds. Is there a cancel for that? No. Let's put this guy on a hold fire. Well, he has like a nice cannon on him. What's that cannon, you think? I don't think it's really going to compare too much. Our T-72 is going to adjust fire, so we're going to give him a little face command. I don't use the face that often. It's the rotate V. He's going to rotate and put his front armor. These guys are going to rotate, put their front armor, and this guy needs to get across the battlefield. That water's kind of giving him a hard time. We're going to get this HQ into position and these T-55s into position. We have a massive front line kind of forming, so it needs to be really well supported. Let's find this is our mobile. Are you our mobile? That's our mobile artillery. Let's get him into a position. Shift. Yep, he needs to move forward. We'll put him in that tree line right there. And then this is our long range. We're going to give him a control 1 T. And let's just give everyone over here a hard time. All right, everyone's going to have a hard time. Oh, they didn't move. They're not moving. I want to give these guys a retreat. They're kind of too far forward. Like that mobile infantry is kind of too far forward of our tanks. There's a tank battle kind of breaking out. Ooh, they're going across the water. Where are our helos? Our helos would be fantastic in this fight. Let's see if we can get our helos on deck. That little close air support or close range air support. These guys are suppressed. Ah, they're coming through. They're coming through. Ah, man, look at that. Look at that. This guy needs to get out of this tree line. He is having a bad time. Look at all that artillery on him, though, man. They're having a bad time, too. Everyone over there is having a bad time. We're having a good time. Shorad's in a good position. T-55's getting into a good position. Kind of lost track of this, but we're going to work on securing that. They have a recon vehicle, which is suppressed. Mobile artillery is moving. Our artillery is moving. Let's see if we can move this forward a little bit. And let's go. We're going to adjust fire. These Leos are going to have a terrible time. Here comes their air support, but remember, right? Remember, Shorad's on deck. SAM system, suppressed. A-10s. No accurate fire. No joy. All right, we have to rotate. We had to rotate. God, they are really after this recon unit. Recon unit has to leave the battle. This unit's into a bad position. Let's get these T-55s over on this flank. T-72s are doing some good work. Let's push. Let's just shut this down. I want to shut this down. All right, smoke's going up. Ran into anti-tank over here. We're going to dismount this BTR. Can't dismount while pause. We're just going to work to engage. All right, XX. Those guys are going to dismount. Let's just return fire. Everyone here is just going to leave this battle. Right there, Leo, anti-tank. So we have a massive front line. So maybe expanding our forces would have been a much better option. Let's get this recon unit on the battlefield so we can kind of scout that unit. We're retreating over there because we don't really have the force to deal with that. We should be kind of dealing with a lot of these units here in a moment. T-55s are doing work. T-72s are doing work. Lots of experience. They're suppressed. And we don't really have a lot of forces on the battlefield right now. Let's shred some of these units, though. These T-55s are losing this trade right here, but we should... I'm hoping we beat these Leos. BTR, AT riflemen. We want AT riflemen on deck. All right. T-55s are doing good. Let's kind of get rid of some of this. We have no main ammo. These guys have to go. God, what a fight right there. We're still pushing on Alpha. All right, HQ unit's going to start pushing forward. T-55 is going to shred these last couple of units. Let's move into Alpha. He's got a good range. He's suppressing that recon unit. Hopefully we don't get back capped right here, but we're reinforcing right now. Let's get this PC-76 on deck. And then this anti-tank on deck. All right, Charlie will be reinforced. We'll at least secure Alpha, and then maybe we can push to the next stage. I would at least like to get that. We still have 7 minutes. I feel like we've kind of outmaneuvered and outgunned this guy. Let's move up. Let's move up. I don't know if we're using some of our support. Currently, our SAM systems are too far behind. What's their ammo count right now? 75%. You kind of want them up because the way the aircraft come in, if they're behind, they're not going to suppress right away. So we have a new force moving in. This recon unit is going to reinforce up here. All right, there we go. We should win this. Where's our HQ? HQ should provide moral support. This T-55 doesn't really need to be in the battle this much. But we should be able to beat this guy. Let's get this air defense system out of here. Of course, there's an anti-tank. So what I would like to do is I would like to pause right here. I would like to hit 2. I would like 2 and 1. I really want to suppress that guy. And honestly, I'm just going to smoke my... I should have smoked my approach initially. Hopefully that smoke falls in 2 seconds. We can kind of preserve some of our units and kind of get rid of them. We're definitely going to put a lot of hate in this area, though. Drive these forces out. There we go. Man, these guys are doing good, too. I'm not going to pull these guys in full retreat. No reason for that. We're just going to have artillery fall in that position, and then we're going to push Alpha. No real reason to kind of just reassert ourselves or like readjust. Everyone's moving. Everyone's moving. Hinds need to get up here on the battlefield. T-72s need to get up here. All right, here comes our artillery. There they go. These guys are still getting hit hard. Let's see if we can kind of move into this position. All right, there we go. No one there's having a good time, hopefully. We're going to kind of get this guy into an okay position. We're going to pull this unit back. He's moving too close. Let's just give him a straight reverse. See, and that was my concern. What even is this unit? A BMP-1. I mean, they have ATGMs, so we should be able to, like, you know, take that fight. I don't know if I'm using these companies right. There we go. Suppress, suppress. There's their air support. Suppressed. All right. Oh, they got him, though. They got him. Someone got him. So we're closing the gap. We're closing the gap. These guys are going to mount up. That's the problem right now. All right, Heinz moving into position. We're going to get rid of this defense system. They're low on ammo. T-55s are going to come up, and we're just going to put a Shilka up here for right now. All right, recon spotted, providing good information. Let's get rid of them. Once company's in position, we're going to dismount them. We're going to smoke their approach. They should easily be able to deal with that. I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. Artillery's fallen. AT's getting into position. We're going to secure our exit over here on this right flank. Or at least we're just going to approach over there. Let's see what we can do. Company's in position. We're going to move forward. When this company gets pretty close, we're going to dismount and we're going to move them up. And this is still like a lot of fun. I mean, this has been a grudge match. I mean, a good grudge match is always a good time. Get this T-72 into a position we should be able to secure. I do kind of want them to speed the movement up just a little bit. I'm not going to, because when you get a lot of your time is spent moving units into position, and then like the fight kind of just happens. That should be a good trade. We outnumber them. So let's see if we can get our recon into this position up here, this tree line right here. The reason why I want them right there is so they can kind of scout out that that area. So that's all we're gonna do. I don't see anything. As you see, it kind of changes. That's kind of one of the better things. So maybe right here would have been better. So we're capping Alpha right now. That's gonna give us 100 deployment points. We're gonna try and set these guys up. This PT-76 is going to move up here. Remember, there's a lot of units in this tree line. Anti-tank's going to move up here as well. You can actually link movement with several units, and then we're going to push hard towards the next stage. Obviously, we have 6 phases. We're only on phase 2. How's this guy looking on ammo? He can't really provide a lot of fire support from where he's at, so we're going to move him up to Charlie. This is actually our mobile artillery. He'll target by himself. All right, so we have Alpha. We have some decent ammo. We're going to pull these guys back. And we're going to get some T-55s on the battlefield. I don't really like how we're operating right now. We have no SAM support. Our T-55s are a bit far, so if we make any moves, we kind of need to spot people before we kind of advance. So let's see what we can do like this. So we're going to micro our BRDM a little bit. Once we do that, we will... There we go. Let's pause. First positive ID. Is there I always forget. There's a hold fire, but there's not a stop. So we're just going to hit V to rotate, and maybe he stops right there. Just put eyes directly on him. All right, let's hit 1, I believe. We're just going to kind of make that guy have a bad day. There we go. There's our first couple of engagements. We don't need to break line of sight yet, but at least we can suppress that unit. This guy should, yep, he's engaging. Should be able to handle most anything sent his direction. These T-55s are going to reinforce Alpha. All right, T-72s are going to approach this from this direction. Yeah, these guys are going to get absolutely shredded. We don't have any air support, and we knew that was going to happen, right? We said, like, we knew there was no air support up here. We're just going to have a bad time, and there they go. Where our air support is just so slow. Where's that? They're like, come on, man, fast move. I always forget there's a fast move. I feel like we should be doing a lot better right now than what we are. And we're just going to try and force this guy out. I don't really want that guy, like, hanging out. There's an AT team, remember? Let's see what we get. There's that artillery. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to hit 1 T to target. And we're just going to saturate that area with artillery. All right, with that smoke cover up, we're going to move in. And then we get these PT-76s on deck next. All right, air support's finally gotten into an okay position. What can we get up here? We're going to get our AT up. We could get our HQ unit up, but they won't be. But at least they'll be in position for the next turn. All right, PT-76s are doing okay. We're going to have them move. And then once everyone's in position, we will basically be doing good. Let's go like that. So these guys are going to fast move, and then they're going to rotate and face that area. Because remember, there is an enemy up there. At least we received several ATGMs from that position. And we're getting back capped. So this is something that's kind of a bit weird in this game. For some reason, like, they back cap. Like, we knew that unit was sitting there the whole time, so they moved their ATGM team behind us. So we got to get this mobile artillery out of here. And now we're just kind of playing ring around the rosy, getting everyone into position. And this Heinz probably just going to shred everyone here. That's all. So let's do that. All right, and now we retreated that one unit where everyone's moving into position, and we're just going to try and resecure our position. All right, you have satisfied the exit condition of this phase. You may advance to the next stage by using the map. All right, cool. I'm glad they added this pop-up because before it was confusing. Because you were never quite sure what would happen. So let's just finish this battle and try and get rid of these guys. Lots and lots of combat. Why these guys are so close is kind of crazy. Not quite sure why. We're going to use our air support to suppress them. We're going to smoke our approach. These guys are under ATGM fire. Artillery is falling, and we're kind of approaching them from 2 different directions. There they go. That artillery should get rid of that ATGM team. This company, once dismounted, should shred these M113 crews, and these T-55 should give everyone here a terrible, terrible time. All right, that anti-tank is probably one of the more lethal things on the battlefield that we need to deal with. So we're going to rotate them so they don't just get absolutely shredded, and we're just going to engage these guys from around 10 meters. And just like that, everyone is having a good old time. Let's zoom out. Still kind of dealing with that team right there, which is kind of a bummer. Really feel like we should be performing a little bit better with our units, but we absolutely are not. And let's just get rid of that last unit. This company is engaging, and everyone is having a bad time. There's a hide UI button. Look at that. That's cool. Look out. These guys are under heavy fire. That smoke's a little bit weird, though. This guy's engaging with his cannons. And then actually you can like zoom and stuff. So, there we go. Everyone's having a bad time right there. Let's bring the UI back with I. And let's see what we can do. These guys are actually out of ammo. Hopefully we can get them to face the correct direction though. There we go. Click on them, hit V. And just like that, they are back in the battlefield. We're recapping. We have 2 points. If we don't really have time, and this is why I kind of like the speed's a bit too slow for me. But That's all good. And that is actually the easy victory. Easiest victory of my life. All right, guys. Peace. We won that. No problem.